Hi, I'm Alexa Trilla, and I'm really happy to be here with you today, hosting this talk and talking about architecture, food, and gastronomy connected with design. First of all, I want to thank Isola.design district for making it possible. It was really sad the new Salone del Mobile was cancelled at the first time, but after all, it was postponed, and I was really happy when they called me and they asked me that to host it and to be part of it. It's really nice, and I'm happy to be here explaining you my project. I'm Alexa Trilla, I'm architect. I started 10 years ago, and I decided when I was studying that building was not just my aim. I really like to create and to make ephemeral projects. So when I went to Milano for my exchange program, I started food design, and I found my passion. It was creating with food, and there was where I started to mix my two favorite skills. It was cooking and building. So everything started when I went there, and my first project was going into digital and other projects. And one of the projects was to create like a dessert with just photos. So it was very hard for me to make something that was not edible. So I did like Catalan cream. I made some pictures of it, and at the end, the result was a big poster where people could interact with it. And after that, I went back to Spain. I did my thesis, and I decided to start gastronomy, just to cook and to learn the techniques of culinary, just to mix this food design with the edible skills. So I decided to make my model, my architecture project model. I made it with chocolate. So after the thesis presentation, I could share it with everyone, and it was really nice to see people eating my 2 years project. So in somehow, this was how I started Archicookture. I decided to travel a lot and to work in different hospitality projects. I work in hotels and in restaurants. And this is how I kind of started my skills. And it was years ago when I decided to start the project, to start the studio, and to make all these projects for different clients, be more, I don't know, focused to them. Apart just for work for big brands, just doing small projects for different clients was what it really make me feel really happy and create with it. So that's how I started, and today I will present you one of the last projects I did for my studio. It was a personal project. It started 40 and days. One was blaming me that I couldn't go out, that nature was just out, and people were saying that they really want to go to parks and to. So it just popped up in my mind. I was a kid, and I had this small Japanese Zen garden at home. And even if I go to the park, I remember spending many hours just practice this small box of sand. So I thought maybe that's also kind of the for some. So I decided to make it edible, and I started thinking how I make it. So first of all, what I was how can I do this base, the sand. I went for a crumble. It was just like almond crumble, and after the question was should I do like salty or sweet, because I really go, but I think sweet wins. So I decided to make one of my favorite desserts, the cheesecake, and it was really easy because the cheese sides, like before the creation of the cake, are these rocks. So I decided to go on it, and just the concept was come from the construction of the ingredients, that it was using like the different ingredients and it together on the real or on the plate. So I used the cream, I made a macaron, I used the different cheese, I used some raisins, berries, cherries, all the ingredients that we use for it, and create this edible garden. And yeah, I'm really happy to share with you this experience. And now we will show you the video, and you enjoy. After that, I will keep talking, and you can ask some questions with me all your doubts about food design, architecture, and gastronomy. I wish you enjoyed, and this was my kind of the cheesecake during quarantine, using inside out garden inspired in Japanese gardens. And I'm like, I already received before while I was in the project, and right now some questions about food design for me. Food design for me is like the way I can use to express my two passions, that is building in somehow. But the difference in me is I really like to build with these edible ingredients instead of materials. I like the scenography, and I really like people to enjoy the process and to enjoy the space with me together according to light, textures, using all the senses. So I think food design or archicookture, that is like my mix. I define to be architect and cook at the same time. This is like for me like the way I could make it to create and to make people enjoy art next to me. How I find out that food design was really a thing. I think it was hard, and it still need to be. I mean, we need to work about it, because food design is something related to food, but sometimes we really need to think like all the senses need to be connected with food design. Apart that they need to be nice, they also need to be tasteful, because I think sometimes we miss just in the visual side of the plate or of the presentation, and the whole atmosphere and the whole project needs to be connected with food and be tasted. And important also now, I think we really realize about the products, that now that we've been closed at home, we were going to buy next to our neighbors and using local products. And I think that's really the best, because now, I don't know, I think like we have at least, I'm very happy to be in Spain and in the Mediterranean like diet, that we have a lot of like vegetables, fruit, and this can give us a lot of variety of like flavors mixed with different spices, with flowers. So I think the importance of like using like different local products is like one of the best things, because from my side, less is more. So basics are like one of the most important things, especially to use in my projects. Also, what do I think about the future of food? I think like good food, little bit, as I said, we need to think about how to use the food that we have next to us, just not trying to go out to other countries to find other foods in somehow. So it's nice to travel, it's nice to learn different countries, but at the same time, I think we should use, especially at the beginning, our locals, and trying to mix, and after that we can create with other cultures and make new concepts. Why do you think people is looking for new experiences? I think it's nice also to share with other people different I think now, yeah, sorry, I was reading another. I think now it's very nice to share with other people, especially under this condition. I think we should go on experiences and trying to share different experiences with them, just like going out now that it's possible, trying to create these concepts and playing with the food, with all the textures and all the smells of the areas. Now that we've been closed for so long, I think it's a moment like to appreciate all these senses that we miss during these days, give a value to the ingredients, to friends and to family that it's been missed long these days, and I think it's really nice to share. Some more questions? How did I come up with the constructions of the cheesecake? So yeah, little bit the idea was this, that I think like the idea of this project, for example, was that you can create anything. The basic was the concept of this Japanese Zen garden, and after that you can put anything. You can make a salad, for example. You can put some salted crumble. You can put some tomatoes, some salad. So the idea is just to have like the main concept, and you can convert it in anything. So it can be a cheesecake, it can be a brownie, but at the same time, it can be some meat with some garnish. So it doesn't need really to be one, I mean, just to copy the cheesecake. The aim of this project was like to make you think about, with one idea, that you can make a lot of things. For example, I just put the sample of the Japanese sun garden, but I really encourage you to create other projects according to this, and I would really love to see if you can create also other recipes made of the different ingredients and with the same concept. I get some inspiration from reading. I really like reading, and I think they give you a lot of ideas with different chefs. I really like to read also different recipes to see how they use ingredients. And also it's very important, like the weather and the position in the world where you find out, because when I travel, it's very usual that the same recipes, they don't work according to humidity, according to the climate. Normally they change. And that was one of the first things that encouraged me to keep learning. And I think we are never ready to be or to say that we know enough. I think it's very important to know the origin of the things, and to know all the problems that we can get even before having them. So I think it's really nice to travel and to discover different ingredients just to know how to use them, and encourage also people to give you, when you travel, to try different things, just to know where are the local things coming from and how we can push different local products. I like ephemeral projects because they ask me why do I do just ephemeral projects. I think we have now enough media just to share all these experiences, but I think when you can attend it's the same like music, for example, when you can go to a concert or you can go to normally it's more concert, or even if it's just instrumental or with a singer or something. I mean, you can listen to a CD, but it's not always the same as being there, because I think the whole senses are connected when you are physically in a place. So I think I like these ephemeral projects just because for me they are one of the best experiences I can have. And just being there at that moment, I will even try just people to enjoy with all the with all their bodies, instead of just using the photos or computers, because normally the first thing they do is they appear just with the phone to record it. But I think the main experience is when you are there and you really don't know what to do when you have a plate next to you, because there's a very strict protocol normally we follow in restaurants. But the nice thing of events is that there are no, so you can just create and you can just decide whatever you want to do and how, and people will enjoy with you. And it's kind of playing with the people. Which cultures do I think interesting to apply in food design? I think all of them. I think like traveling is interesting, as I said before. I think we can learn a lot of like different cultures because in the world we normally all have little bit the same ingredients. Of course, it depends on the sizes of the lands and the climate, but I think it's like really interesting to see how people mix ingredients, because just here in the Mediterranean diet, in the Mediterranean culture, we have different projects, different ingredients, and the people is doing different recipes and they have no connection between them, even if they are coming from the same origin, the same products, but just the way that how we cook them or the ingredients, how we mix them, I think is very like interesting how to mix them. So I think all cultures are important and are like good to discover. I think like which ingredient is my favorite? I think all, but I would say maybe chocolate. I think it's very easy to mix it with salty and we mix it with sweet. So I think it's a really nice ingredient like cacao that it can let us like create a lot. Actually, I studied like chocolate master in Barcelona because I was very interested in how to use chocolate in different projects or in different like events and according like to different ideas. And yeah, so this is like my my part. Again, I mean, we already talked about that. How is like the future of food? I think it's like the concept of future of food is like thinking about how we want us to create and food sensory experience. Yeah, I mean, one of this was one project. The sensory experience was trying to mix the different senses in one plate. So I just used like some food dropping from the roof. I put there also like some from the table, and people was having this small basket where they were mixing different projects, different food, and they were creating their own plate, just like closing their eyes and thinking and just trying to guess which ingredients did they get. And yeah, I'm so happy like to explain a little bit about Archicookture, and I wish you a really nice week in Isola.design district. I'm sure like a lot of designers will be also hosting these talks, and I'm really happy to be here and thankful for all. Thank you.